Alright, how you doing? Oh mate, tone down the energy. It's supposed to be my day off today, and oh man, this has been one of the most chilled out days off full stop. In fact, I've spent most of my time curled up in a little ball on the sofa over there where the spaniel's at. You just been laying down? Relaxing? That don't sound like you at all, mate. No, I know. I'm sick. The wife went to heavy down with the plague yesterday. Not Rona, thankfully. And last night when I went to bed, I started to get the sniffles, the bunged nose, the sore throat, the world kind of zooming in and out and flipping upside down, the hot flashes, you know, the constant need to piss yourself, all of the good stuff. Because today is my day off, right, and there's no one here, like the kids are at grandma's, it's just me and the wife, neither of us are feeling particularly well. I said, screw it, why don't we just loaf, like, all day and just relax. It's going to be a miserable time if we start trying to do all this other stuff. Let's just sit down, lounge about, put on a documentary, and nap, relax, Because yesterday, bless her, the wife felt she seemed to feel quite guilty that she was in bed and everyone else was kind of running around. She's like, look, you're sick at the end of the day, don't worry about it. And I mean, like I say, given that today there was no one here, there's no one here. I mean, the boys I don't think will be back until tomorrow afternoon-ish, whenever. Just loaf it. It's just not that big of a deal, realistically. I mean, I don't like wasting time, but today I just thought, well, screw it. Just screw it. I mean, I only had a few things to do. I've got to set up for the podcast tonight, which leads into a job that I've got to do tomorrow. It's not a job, it's a chore I have to do tomorrow. File management. It's one of those things that I've been putting off for a while, and it was a snowball, and as it's coming down the mountain, it's now an avalanche. It's just a few directories that I need to sort through. I'm not going to go balls deep through like 8 terabytes worth of data, but there's a couple of directories I really need to sort. So I'm gonna save that for the tomorrow. Maybe. And the thing about the podcast, I was like, well, because the podcast is part of the reason why I need to rework some files, because I really stuffed some stuff up. When I go through it, we'll see. Right? But I was like, I'm going to have to, at some point, get to a computer so that I can set up the podcast, because I've reset the machines that I would normally do the podcast on, and RAM must be getting really narky, because I do that like every week. Like every week, near enough, he goes, I'm like, hey RAM, just give me a minute, I've just got to sort out some audio things and sort out the scenes and that, just give me a minute, I'll get it sorted. And then I just looked and I was like, actually, you know what? Why don't I just use the Strix? I think the Strix, the laptop that I'm now using to stream in place of the Zephyrus, in place of Belial, a PC, that's probably got 2/3 of the stuff on it, and all of the microphones and stuff are hooked up to it, so why faff about, right? I'll just do that and do the file management stuff tomorrow. Fingers crossed. But yeah. Only other thing that was on the cards. The only other thing that was due on the cards was that I was supposed to go through Metro Exodus on PC today, and I stopped playing last time I tried to blast through Metro Exodus, because every time I got to this level called the Caspian, which is a big desert, 1, it's boring, 2, because Volga's a much nicer level, it's like a snow level, Caspian's a big desert with nothing in it, although it does look incredibly beautiful at night time. Once you're rocking around in the Caspian, I don't know what it is, but like sometimes you have to be pixel perfect in placement, crashes, run up to an enemy, hard lock, it's really, like sometimes it'll just run fine, and I'm like, whoa, please don't tell me, like my PC has had this random thing, my graphics card's just decided to fail for whatever reason. I'm like, please tell me this random hiccup my graphics cards develop hasn't kind of found its way over to the 3080, because if it does, I'm going to cry. That will be 3 graphics cards in 2 years. But I kept on trying. I came back to it. I loaded it up. I sat down. I'd like move forwards a few feet. It'd crash. I'd load back in, touch the W key to move forward. It would crash. I would load in, change settings. You know, it would crash. I'd look in the vague direction of an enemy, it would crash. I'd storm a base, it'd be fine. Turn around to an empty base, it would crash. And I was like, you know what, I've just screw you. And I just right click, uninstalled, job done. It's the instability of the game has ruined it for me. But I now have this fear since Monster Hunter World. I didn't like Monster Hunter World a huge amount when that came out, but my PlayStation was failing at the time, so a lot of the crashes I was having were caused by my PlayStation. I don't want to judge Exodus's code because of all the crashes I'm having, but it's put me off. But I noticed RAM hasn't gone any further than Caspian either. So maybe he's having trouble there too. I've looked, it's not just Linux users having the issue, everyone seems to have issues on Caspian, the Caspian. So, or a lot of people seem to have issues on the Caspian. So I'm going to have to do some digging and see what I can find. But I'll ask Graham on the podcast, see what he says, and I'll tag that bit in the end. But that's my day, just loafing comfortably on the sofa, drinking, knockoff lem sips, loads of paracetamols, watching David Attenborough documentaries and dozing off, drinking loads of sugary drinks. I'm trying not to let the ceiling and the floor switch places too quickly. What's that? So I hope you're well. That made no fucking sense, and I'll see you all with a bit of luck in the next one. Don't get sick, because I've been told that this could last for another week. And I've got VR stuff to do on Tuesday for Random Nerds Game Night. Random Nerds Game Night, quotations. What the fuck is that about? I don't want to be stuck in a VR headset where the world is spinning. That is like... There's going to be like an Exorcist scene going on right there, or Guest House Paradiso, where the... It's going to be great. Oh no! It wasn't set up, so I had to set it all up. No! Ram was having the same issues in Metro Exodus as me. Although, a little bit more consistency in Ram's case, where the W key was enough to make my game crash. On his Windows rig, he could play for about half an hour before it decided to tank. So neither of us have finished Caspian, neither of us have finished Metro. I rage quit, and fuck that though, because fluff. Look, I'm a big boy. I did a thing. I made a thing. Check that out. I was helping the wife mix paint, so I made a thing. Right, I am now going to bed. That's it. You got the right idea there, doggo.